If you're going to build something from nothing, you've got to know what really works. I took a $1,000 loan and built a $5 billion business, and now I make smart investments in new businesses on Shark Tank. This is Barbara Corcoran, and you're listening to Business Unusual, presented by On Deck. This week on Business Unusual, I'm going to be answering all of the great questions you guys keep sending me in on business, life, how to move forward, how to jump over obstacles. Come on, I'm good at it and I want to share my advice. But first, think you need to sit by the door waiting for opportunity to knock? You'll be sitting there forever. Forget about it. Opportunity, I know, through vast experience, can hide in even the worst situations, and finding it's a matter of believing it's really there. I've found opportunities in the darkest times in my career because I believed really in my heart that something good had to come. And that attitude was the start of getting the kind of vision that you could see it when it was coming. Let me give you an example. I was in the depths of a real estate recession with my back up against the wall and owing a lot of money to banks that I had no ability to repay. I was desperate. But I also had that optimism of knowing that when things are really, really bad, there's got to be something in the pile of badness that is a new opportunity. So what do you think happened? I finally had a desperate idea to try to make some cash. So I took 88 apartments that nobody wanted that was languishing in the market, and instead of asking individual prices for the developer, I priced them all alike. I simply averaged out the numbers and priced them all alike. I announced to my staff, shh, we're going to have a secret sale on Friday. And everything's going to be priced alike. So bring your one customer, the customer you like most, to the sale. And make sure you're there early so they could pick out the best apartment. Remember, we've got top apartments, lower floor apartments, view apartments, no view apartments, apartments with kitchens, no kitchens, and they're all priced alike. Isn't that crazy? Well, what do you think happened? My salespeople showed up on that Friday morning with over 180 people in the line, rather than just the 88 that they were permitted to bring. And they bid like crazy people to grab those apartments as fast as they can, and I made over $1 million in 1 hour flat. Go figure. But it wouldn't have happened if in the darkest hour I didn't really believe there's got to be an opportunity somewhere in this mess. And I got it. I got that opportunity and got my check 1 week later, smiling from ear to ear. You're listening to Business Unusual, presented by On Deck. Even if you're a smart, savvy business owner, sometimes getting your hands on the money to expand your business can be challenging. On Deck delivers fast, easy financing tailored to small business owners like us. You can receive funding in as fast as 24 hours, and you can get term loans up to $500,000 and lines of credit up to $100,000. On Deck products are really tailored to your own business needs with a wide choice of loan and payback options. It's a simple process designed to save you time, and with much higher approval rates than traditional lenders like banks, I wouldn't recommend them to you if I didn't think On Deck was the real deal. On Deck has lent over $10 billion to more than 80,000 small business owners, and thousands of them have reviewed On Deck online. Go have a look. They give them a 9.8 out of 10 rating on Trustpilot and an A+ grade with the Better Business Bureau. Make your way to ondeck.com/Barbara for a free consultation with a small business loan specialist. Go ahead. Just visit ondeck.com/Barbara. And now it's time to answer your questions on Business Unusual.
Hey, Barbara, it's Christian from Tanzania, and here's my question. I'm an expander, but my manager is a container. How do I grow under her management?
Christian, you're going to have to change your style of proposing any new ideas to your manager if you want to get ahead. Anyone who knows how to contain a business is by their very nature logical. They like to understand every step along the way so that they could agree with you with the steps for them to come to the same conclusion. So you're going to have to change your entire style of presenting it if you're a very creative type and bounce out with your ideas the minute they're in your head. So in short, you're going to have to learn to speak and persuade her in the opposite style that you're accustomed to, which is going to be the style of logically explaining what you want to do, how you're going to get there, and why it's going to be so terrific for the organization and for her. Christian, it's hard to get ahead when you're an expander type personality, bursting with ideas, and yet you're contained by the person on top of you who wants to contain ideas. It's opposite. So if your new style of communicating doesn't get you what you want, I would suggest you look for another position and work for another expander. Lance on Twitter asks, I feel like I'm losing my creativity after 15 years in business and I need to refresh. What's the first step to get it back? Lance, I would say plan a vacation. When you're too close to a problem, whether you own your business or you're working with the next guy, you can't really get a new perspective on it when day in and day out you're doing the same thing. So first off, get out your calendar, put a date in there, and take a vacation. The key to taking the vacation is to not look at your cell phone, your emails, your texts for at least 2 days. I call that a refresher. I do it all the time. It's like going on sabbatical. It used to be fashionable. Today it's shameful. But go on a sabbatical, clean up everything on your mind, and let yourself drift. Once you've cleaned your mind and you return from your break, sit down immediately before you get involved in anything else. Get a yellow pad out, put a line down the middle, and on the left side, put "What I Hate." And start dumping every little thing you hate about your job and your life on the left-hand side. Do it with privacy. Don't allow yourself to get interrupted, and don't finish the list till you know you have every single thing on it. The next thing you do is go to the other side of the line, and write all the things that make you the happiest. Generally, you'll find that list is much shorter, and you get it out pretty fast because none of us really change so much on what we enjoy and what we do well. The next step is to go to the left-hand side and figure out, how could I get rid of the things that are in my way, the things I don't naturally like to do, the things I don't want to spend time on, the things I don't want to confront when I go into work or at home tomorrow. If you can possibly delegate that list if you're the boss, do it, and do it immediately. If you're not the boss, maybe sit down with that list and try to think, what other job could I get at the company I'm working at where I would do less of this stuff, and go in and ask for that job. Either way, my point here is, if you feel stuck in your job and you're not creative, it's because you're doing the wrong stuff. Put any talented person in a spot where they have to do the same stuff over and over again that they don't like doing, they're not naturally good at, and what you get is a bore. A bore to the outside, someone who's not productive, and worse than that, a bore to yourself. So don't waste another minute. Start out with the vacation. Get your to-do list and your not-to-do list going, and do something about it. And that's all the questions we have time for today. If you have a question, tweet it at Barbara Corcoran, and I may just answer it on a future episode. You've been listening to Business Unusual with me, Barbara Corcoran, presented by On Deck. Come back next week to hear more steps and missteps I took on the path to success on Business Unusual. Business Unusual is part of the iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Be sure to follow Business Unusual on iHeartRadio or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.